Here's the deal. If you are on a mission to align yourself with your purpose, free yourself from chronic stress, and live on your own terms, I highly recommend you start with your physical health. And so, the reason I recommend that is not because of what it does for you from the neck down, but because of what it does for you from the neck up. That's where I started. And so I want to talk today about your health journey and two of the most dangerous points on your health journey that I've personally experienced, but then also that I've noticed as I've helped other people on their mission to optimal health. Listen, I am Lisa A. Smith, plant-based health and business coach. Welcome back to the Plant Protocol podcast. I am the founder of Farm to Table plant-based coaching program, as well as the Plant Protocol Coaching Business Accelerator, where I help people start and grow successful coaching and businesses and speaking careers. And I've been doing this work for for a long time. Helped hundreds and thousands of people that have come across our ecosystem, our platforms, and our programs in the last several years. And I am so excited to share with you guys the topic that we're going to talk about today because it's a bit of a warning for you guys. It's a bit of a caution tape. We're putting up caution tape today if you are on your personal health journey. So I don't care what your health goals are. I don't care if it's weight loss. I don't care if you've been diagnosed with something. It doesn't matter if you're on medication. It doesn't matter if you have a diagnosis from a doctor, or you just know you're not at your best. Maybe you have chronic headaches, or you have chronic stomach issues, you have skin issues, maybe you're chronically fatigued, you're just tired all the time. I want to share with you guys today the two most important points on your health journey so that you can be fully made aware, so that you're really locked in, and so that you can really optimize your journey and do what's required to reach those health goals. Because for me, you guys know I talk a lot about the importance of eliminating chronic stress. You guys know I talk a lot about the importance of living a life of radical obedience. And you guys know I talk a lot about purpose. But let me tell you my cheat code to being able to do that consistently. I've personally lost over 60 plus pounds. And I am a whole food plant-based vegan for years now. And I am a health coach, so I help other people with their health goals. And the thing that has helped me to stay in business, to create consistently, is what I've done for my physical health. Everything, the being stress-free, living life on my own terms, being a full-time entrepreneur, all of it started with my physical health. So if there was any place to start, it is with your physical health. That is the best place to start with reaching all of your other goals. It's like the first domino that knocks all the other dominoes down. It's like when you are physically a 12 out of 10 from the neck down and the neck up, physically and mentally a 12 out of 10, it changes things. It opens up opportunities. It opens up possibilities. And so I want to break down for you guys that today, because I first got mental clarity and energy because I changed my diet. I lost weight, right? And so when you change your diet, y'all, when you like stop eating sugar, when you stop eating dairy and cholesterol and saturated fat and all the things that clogs the arteries that lead to your brain, that prevents us from being able to feed our brain the sustenance we need to think clearly. When you stop putting that stuff in your body, your mental goes crazy. Like, so the mental clarity, the emotional regulation, the creativity, the ability to recall changes when you pay attention and prioritize what you put in your body. And then, as you guys all know, food is meant to be fuel. So when you eat right, you also have more energy. And now you can actually tackle that to-do list that's been staring back at you for months, right? And so for me, my success in business started with my physical and mental health. So I first got mental clarity. I then got energy. Now my mind was clear and calm enough to regulate my emotions. And finally, I developed the body confidence that my assignment required. You guys know I speak, I teach, and I coach for a living. And so I'm hitting these stages, I'm on these mics, and I don't care if it's virtual or in person, I need to feel confident in my body. A lot of us, have assignments that are calling us to the front of the room, but we are ignoring that assignment because of our own personal insecurities. And so if that is you, then this episode is for you, because starting with your physical health is going to be the domino that knocks all the other dominoes down, right? If you're looking for your relationships to go to the next level, if you're looking for your finances, your career, your spirituality, your personal development to go to the next level, it's nothing like starting with something that you can control. You can control what you eat. You can control how you move. You can control what you drink. So, starting with your own personal well-being takes everything else to the next level, because when you show up to make those bigger decisions in those other areas, you're your best self. And for me, it is when I was able to begin trusting my decision making. Okay. Okay. So because I was able to trust my decision making and trust my emotions, because I started with my physical health, I now want to share with you guys the two most dangerous points on your health journey, because as a health coach, I've watched people fail. I've watched people uh, reverse back to where they came from, like gain the weight back, and their numbers started creeping back up. Cholesterol started creeping back up. Pain started coming back. I've watched it happen, right? And so I was like, let me share with them like a warning sign as we approach the top of the year. Right now, you guys know I'm the founder of the Plant Protocol 30-Day Vegan Salt, Oil, and Sugar-Free Challenge. And so we're starting the challenge on January 1st, 2025. And we have, as of today, like 903 people registered for the challenge so far. And though all of those individuals are doing the challenge to get their physical health in order. So I know I'm talking to somebody. But here's the thing, as we approach and we hit go on this thing, I want to make sure that all of our challengers and all of you are warned of the dangers. Like there's some red tape, there's some caution tape that I want to break down to you guys. So here's the first point. There's only two. Okay. Here's the first point. What's up, Instagram? Good morning. What's up, YouTube? What up, Doe? Here's the point. Here's the first point. Yes, happy Veterans Day to all the veterans. Absolutely. Thank you, Rochelle, on YouTube. So, the first most dangerous point on your health journey is the point of completion. It's the point of completion. The first most dangerous point on your health journey is the point of completion. So yeah, I know a lot of us watched the Olympics, and a lot of us really liked like the racing, like the sprinting. We watched the Olympics, right? Many of you guys are probably runners. I know I have people in my ecosystem who do marathons and things like that. And we know the most dangerous. Hey, Patrice, good morning. She said you look so pretty. Ooh, thank you, Patrice. And good morning. Um, a lot of us watch the Olympics, right? And then I know I have people in my ecosystem who are runners. And I know myself, like I like to run, right? So I like sprinting, and I don't do a whole bunch of long distance running because I don't want to lose a lot of weight. When you do long distance running, it breaks down muscle, right? So I like to do things that are like high impact, quick bursts of energy, and then you slow it down, right? But I've definitely done like 5Ks before. I've done 10Ks before. Haven't done a full marathon, but I've definitely done 5Ks, 10Ks. And then, like I said, a lot of us watch running and sprinting. We know there's some like superstars in the Olympic sprinting and running world. And one of the things I noticed, and you guys tell me if you've seen anything different, but after someone completes the race, i.e., they cross the finish line, have you guys ever seen anybody keep running? Just wondering, like you yourself, if you've ever done a 5K, a 10K, a marathon, whatever, or you just run in the morning, you set a goal for yourself. I'm going to do 1 mile, 2 miles, 3 miles. How often have you ever kept running after you cross the finish line? How often have you ever watched a marathon or watched a race and you notice somebody keeps running after a marathon? Not never. What happens when people cross the finish line? Well, first things first, you know what I mean? Praise be. Them hands go up like winners win, right? Those hands go up. And when people finish and cross the marathon, what else happens? They put their hands on their waist and they usually start walking, don't they? They start walking because they're trying to catch their breath, right? They're trying to recover, right? And every single time, I mean, I've never seen it. I haven't seen every race that's ever been ran, but I have never seen, I've been a part of a lot of races, 5Ks, 10Ks, where it's like hundreds of us running at one time. And I've watched a lot of races, and I've never seen anyone keep running after they cross the finish line. And the reason that's important when it comes to your health is because the first most dangerous point on your health journey is the point of completion. Why? Because inevitably, when you reach the point of completion, i.e., when you reach your goal weight, i.e., when you get off the medication, i.e., when you go to the doctor and they tell you you're cleared, great work, it's in remission, right? Anytime you reach a point of completion, what inevitably happens? You slow down, or for some people, we completely stop. We're like, okay, I did the work. I was in treatment. I got off the medication. I put the disease in remission. I lost the weight. I beat my food addiction. I cleared up my skin. I no longer have painful periods. I did the work for my reproductive health. And now I was able to get pregnant. I'm in my first trimester. Like, we do the work to achieve the goal, but when we cross the finish line, we eventually stop running, stop racing. We got to take a breather for a second. So you guys already know where I'm going with this. Why is this such a dangerous point on your health journey? Is because if you have not given your health an assignment, if you have not already secured a bigger and bolder why, you are going to stop doing the work, or you're going to stop working as hard as you were working where you were in the race. And now you run the risk of what? You run the risk of gaining the weight back. You run the risk of reintroducing sugar and salt and soda and fast food back into your diet. And you run the risk of putting yourself back in a position where you have to combat something again. So the solution to this, to having that the gift and the curse that is the point of completion, is you have to give your health an assignment before you get to the finish line. The danger is that a lot of us, after we reach our goal, we then start entertaining, okay, let me find a reason to keep doing this. Like, what's going to be my motivation for getting up and getting to the gym every day? Like, I was doing really well, but now I done lost the weight. I done took my foot off the gas, and now I'm giving myself all these excuses of why I can skip another workout. I'm giving myself all the excuses why I can have just a little bit, even though I didn't allow myself to eat that mess when I was battling the thing. But now I'm giving myself more and more excuses and more reasons to continue to go back to the habits that I worked so hard to overcome. And I need you guys to understand the point of completion is a very dangerous point, even though it's the goal for all of us. And so one of the best things you can do is give your health an assignment that does not necessarily, this is going to sound weird, but it's not necessarily possible realistically. You're just striving for it. So let me give you an example. I lost over 60 plus pounds, right? Years ago. And so I'm a whole food plant-based vegan. I don't eat any refined sugar. I'm a clean vegan. So like, I cook a lot of stuff from scratch, or when I eat out, I try and eat really clean. I'm not eating all of this fake meat, fake cheese, a whole bunch of fried foods, right? And so the question becomes, Lisa, how did you lose 65 pounds, and how are you still keeping it off today? The question becomes, Lisa, why won't you allow yourself to have a little bit of that sugar from time to time? Like, how do you stay so disciplined and motivated? Because what most people think is like, well, you're just naturally that way and I can't do that. It's like, no, 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 no. I gave my health an assignment. You know what now keeps me motivated? The speaking engagement that I have coming up, the fact that I got to come on here and talk to y'all every Monday at 10 a.m. EST, the fact that I have a whole roster full of clients that I'm in a classroom with every Sunday at our plant-based coaching program, the fact that I have a whole team that I meet with several times throughout the week. Like, I have to represent what we sell. Do I not? So even though I lost my weight a long time ago, I have created an internal motivator within my life. It is my business. It is my clients. It is my family. I aspire to be a mother one day, and I got to make sure my body is prepared for that. And I aspire to be really healthy from the start to the end of that experience. I aspire for that. So my why, and I gave my health an assignment above and beyond just getting me healthy for the moment. And I encourage all of you guys to do the same thing. It is really dangerous to have this personal goal and then you accomplish it and you have nothing to follow it up with. And that is why so many people stop running after they cross the finish line. And it is very dangerous. Like I've heard, we got a client in our business accelerator, Leslie, and she's a marathon runner. And I think it was Leslie, or it might have been somebody else. I don't want to blame Leslie for this. But I was talking to a marathoner, and I remember them telling me, like, man, after I got done with those 26 miles, I couldn't wait to go eat a whole pizza. I couldn't wait to go get some burgers and fries. I couldn't wait to, like, people are like waiting to cross the finish line to do damage. Like when people finish our 30-day challenge, I know they don't never tell me, but I know because I can read minds. I already know they're thinking on January 31st. Oh my God, I can't wait to get some fried chicken. Like all we're waiting for is the finish line. And the reason you're waiting for the finish line is because you have not created bigger consequences. You have no consequences. You think after the Daniel fast that we all do with our churches in the top of the year, you think after Lisa's 30-day challenge, I cannot wait to go have to treat myself to some ice cream, to treat myself to some fried foods. You want to know why you're willing to do that? You want to know why you're willing to put all that poison and that sugar and that junk back into your body? Is because you have no assignment that you've attached your health to. You don't see the consequences. Like I know if I eat sugar, like I'm not worried about gaining my weight back anymore. Like my weight loss journey is so far behind me that being overweight again is not a risk to me in my mind, right? And so continuing to work out and eat right, I no longer do it because I'm worried about being overweight again. I'm just not worried about it. I'm too far gone, right? But what I am worried about is getting on the mic with you guys next Monday in 7 days and losing my memory. That's what I'm worried about. And I know that's what sugar does to the brain, right? It causes lapses in your recall. Like what I am worried about is like not being here for family and friends, or putting my family and friends in a position where they have to take care of me because I didn't take care of myself. Right. So what I am worried about is leaving my assignment, which is to extend the healthy life expectancy for people of color, to somebody else because I didn't take care of myself. And so I got to make somebody else responsible to the thing God assigned me to do. That's what I am worried about. And so the point of no return, the point of completion is the first most dangerous point on your health journey. And the way you avoid this pitfall is you have to give your health an assignment before you get to the finish line. You can't scramble for a why at the finish line. I need you to give your health an assignment today, which means I need you to sit down and articulate and write out the consequences of what happens if you don't keep running. When you cross it, you have to be crystal clear on the consequences of what happens when you decide to walk instead of run. Like I still work out hard as if I got 60 plus pounds to lose. Y'all should have seen me this morning in the gym leg day. I'm doing step ups. I'm doing back squats. I'm doing Bulgarian split squats. I'm doing lunges. I'm doing leg extensions. Like you would really think I had something coming up. I ain't got nothing coming. I ain't got no event coming up. I don't have anything coming. I just work out this way because I know the consequences of not doing so. I understand how important my legs are to how my brain functions. I know strong legs equals strong mind. And I'm like, I got to create these talks. I got to create this curriculum. I need a strong mind. And so you have to give your health an assignment and you have to create consequences before you reach the finish line. Okay. Y'all know all the marathoners, they just stop running when they cross the finish line, right? And we do that in real life as well. And so the first most dangerous point on your health journey is the point of completion. Let's get into number 2. Okay. Is this a new viewer on Instagram? I've never seen your name before. Good morning. My apologies if I pronounce it wrong. Ephraim Press. I don't know how to pronounce it, but she said, you're giving gems while still being funny. That is my gift. Welcome. Y'all ready for the second most dangerous point on your health journey? It's so dangerous. Now, this is above and beyond, like the most dangerous point on your health journey. I have to tell you guys. So the second, hold on, I'm getting all my stuff together here. Okay. Sips tea. I got some tea this morning, y'all. Okay, so the second most dangerous point on your health journey is the point of no return. It's the point of no return. So if this first dangerous point is the point of completion, the second dangerous point is the point of no return. Now, let's talk about it. Okay? Because there's 2 points of no return, and I'm gonna break down both of them for you. Here's what I want you guys to know. A lot of us, because we are battling stuff that is ubiquitous, which means a whole bunch of people are overweight. And if you're one of them, you don't necessarily see it as urgent, right? Because when you have something that a lot of other people have, oddly, even if it's something that's not healthy, like hypertension or high cholesterol or obesity or autoimmune condition, even though it's not ideal, when a lot of other people have it or are dealing with it or are battling with it, you still have a sense of belonging. Like if you go into a place and you're one out of 50 other people that are overweight, or even when you go into like a cancer ward in a hospital and like you build relationships with them, you going for your treatment, people build relationships with those other individuals, and they're all like gunning to ring the bell and claim being cancer free. Like, even though it's not an ideal situation and you don't want to go back there, there's also a sense of belonging, right? And so here's what happens. When we have these conditions that are ubiquitous, that are not rare, when we have common conditions, it can be very hard to have a sense of urgency when it comes to combating them because they're so common, right? And so here's what happened when you delay your weight loss journey. Here's what happens when you delay figuring out why you got these stomach issues, why you got chronic headaches, when you delay figuring out why you're tired all the time, when you don't do anything about being in pain every month, like being in pain every day. Like, first of all, it's been going on so long that you've normalized the dysfunction. So you've adjusted your life to live with it as opposed to doing something about it. I used to have a hair tech, and I was so sad when she moved to Atlanta because she was one of the best. Like, doing natural hair is a gift. Okay, y'all know I like sidebars. Doing natural hair is a gift, and she was really good at washing my hair and dealing with how thick my natural hair is. And shout out to her. But she also had arthritis. Okay, and she had arthritis, and it was escalating. She was overweight, and she had arthritis, and partly, as a hairstylist, standing up for years, working with her hands for years on people's hair and stuff. She had arthritis. It was in her hands and it was in her knees. And I remember us talking about it one day, and she was talking about the inflammation. And I was telling her some of the things that she could do from a nutrition and dietary standpoint to like reduce the inflammation and reduce the flare-ups from her arthritis, y'all. And I remember her telling me that the car that she was currently driving was really low to the ground. And so I remember her telling me she was thinking about getting another car, thinking about getting a truck, because it was higher up. And so she wouldn't have to bend down to get into the car. This is what a lot of us do when we're unwell. Instead of being radical about remission, we adjust our whole lives to match our dysfunction. She was entertaining buying a new vehicle so that she wouldn't have to bend down because her knees were hurting so bad to get into her low to the ground car, as opposed to, let me overhaul my diet. Let me do everything I can from a lifestyle standpoint first. And I'm not suggesting she, wouldn't have needed a truck eventually anyway, but her energy and her resources were being pointed toward getting a new vehicle, as opposed to pointing that energy and resource and problem solving skill toward, let me get this weight off of me. Let me stop eating anything that causes inflammation. She was a pretty heavy drinker. I told her over and over again, like, bro, you gotta stop drinking so much. It exacerbates inflammation. Like, it doesn't go with your arthritis. And she likes sweet drinks. So it's a whole bunch of sugar. Like, I'm like, you gotta stop. Right. But she like, I'm thinking about just getting a truck. I'm like, wait, what? That doesn't do anything for the arthritis. And so what happens for a lot of us is we do the exact same thing, right? Like we when we battle with something for so long, We know how to adjust our lives so that we can live with our condition. And so here's what eventually happens. If you have mastered the art of adjusting your life to live with dysfunction, you run the risk of reaching the point of no return because you're not doing anything to put it in remission. You're only doing everything to live with it. And here is one of the biggest misconceptions you can make about your health. How I feel today, even if it's bad, is how I'm always going to feel, meaning it can't get any worse than this. You are wrong. It can get worse. It can escalate. If you are a 2 out of 10, it can go to a 1 out of 10. Like you can get worse. Like we think we don't understand how dangerous it is to continue to be overweight year after year. We don't understand how dangerous it is to continue to take statins for high cholesterol, uh, beta blockers for hypertension, steroids for autoimmune conditions. Like we don't like, do you understand microdosing that poison year after year after year? You will look up and you will have 2, 3 other conditions because you decided years ago to only manage this one condition. And here's what happens. As things escalate, that original condition can get to a point of no return. What is a point of no return? Let me break it down for you physically. What does the point of no return mean? Physically, if we're talking about the point of no return, here's a few examples. When it comes to clogged arteries, the plaque that builds up around our arteries that eventually leads to a heart attack or a stroke can calcify. Calcification means it hardens. When it hardens, we can't get it off the artery. The best we can do is prevent further buildup. But you can continue to eat so much trash. You can continue to drink so much trash. You can continue to be so stressed out that it causes a buildup of plaque on your arteries. And if you don't do anything radical about it, that plaque can harden and calcify. And it is when it hardens and calcifies that we can no longer, like the point of being completely free of clogged arteries is no longer in our purview. You, my friend, have reached a point of no return. You can advance to a stage of kidney failure where you no longer have the option to ever be free of chronic kidney disease. Like you can get to a stage 4 or 5 where maybe it won't escalate to dialysis. Maybe it won't escalate to the point where you need a kidney transplant, but you will never be free of kidney disease. You can escalate to a point of no return. I don't understand why y'all not scared of this. Listen to this. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen, with diabetes, your blood sugar can be so erratic for so many years that you can escalate to a point where you will always have to be on insulin. You can escalate to a point of amputation. You ain't never getting that foot back. Now, don't laugh, Lisa. Do you get what I'm saying though? Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, the most dangerous point on your health journey is the point of no return. I need y'all to understand me. Shout out to Kamari on Instagram. She said, you got my attention. That's all I needed, Kamari, was you. You the reason I'm here today. I don't care. Everybody else can sign off. I need y'all to understand that you can reach a point of no return. You can get cancer and it can metastasize, i.e. spread to so many places in your body that the doctors tell you it has spread so much that there is not a surgery we can do. There is not a treatment we can give you that will reverse it. Like it's spread too much. The only thing we can give you at this point is an estimated time that you have left to live. You can reach a point, and I feel like standing up. I wish this mic would stand up with me. I need y'all to understand. Like, I'm like, why ain't people more urgent? Why do you think high blood pressure and high cholesterol and being overweight ain't that big of a deal? Why do you think that pain you feel on a regular basis, you don't need to figure out what's going on? Why do you think these stomach issues is just, do you understand? There's a point of like, but here, just like I started, like I told y'all, what happens is the things we are battling are so common that we don't see the urgency in it. Like everybody overweight, all my friends overweight. Matter of fact, we think it's cute. What? Like all my friends dealing with food addictions, none of us got a control over our relationship with food. We think it's cute. Like none of us, I'm older, all of my friends at church and all of my friends in my group, we all on at least 3, 4 medications. I'm only on one. So I'm doing better than most. We normalize the dysfunction so much that we're not radical enough in our action. And then we eventually reach a point of no return. And now we're at a point of no return. And so now our only option left, imagine getting to a point in your life where your only option left is management, where the only thing you have left at your disposal is management. Your condition has escalated so much that remission is no longer available to you. I wish I would. I wish I would. I wish y'all would. Y'all gonna stop playing with me. Let me tell all 903 of y'all that's registered for my next 30-day vegan, salt, oil, and sugar-free challenge. Y'all gonna stop playing with me. If y'all think I'm extreme. Y'all be like, she doing too much. She talking about no moderation. Yeah, you moderated yourself to a condition. Houseway, how are we gonna come back from that? Y'all think I'm playing. One of the most dangerous points is the point of no return. That is really feasible. And a lot of you guys know people who have reached a point of no return. Like, bruh, this done escalated so much. The management is the best we can do is try and make you comfortable with the condition you have. That's the best we can do. The thing is too far gone. You should be scared out of your mind of the point of no return. Like this looks like if somebody has MS, you can get so many lesions on your brain. Like there's nothing you gotta be on the medication. I need y'all to get okay, Lisa, tell them what you came to tell them. Okay, y'all know I be having to talk to myself in the middle of talking to y'all so I can calm down. So that's the first point of no return. It's physical. Kamari on Instagram said, where do I register? LisaAngelsmith.com/challenge. I'll make sure I send it to you. Matter of fact, Kamari, do me a favor. Send me a DM right now on Instagram. Send me a DM so I can remember. Say, hey, Lisa, shoot me the link. And as soon as I get off of here, I'm going to check my DMs and I'm going to make sure you got the hyperlink. And if somebody can please put this in the chat, LisaAngelsmith.com/challenge. Okay. Okay, listen. So what I just gave you guys is the physical point of no return. So like your situation, and this can happen with mental and emotional conditions as well. Like you can just escalate where it's like, so I love a lot of true crime stuff, right? And so I was listening to one of my true crime podcasts yesterday, y'all. And I remember the host was talking about psychosis, and she was talking about schizophrenic breaks and just psychotic breaks. And she was talking about this gentleman who like killed his whole family, like his mom, his dad, siblings, or whatever. And she was talking about like interviewing some of these people with the same condition that he had. And like, she was saying like, he will be in an institution for mental health for the rest of his life. Like he'll never be able to safely return to society because his mental health has escalated to a point of no return. She didn't say point of no return, but that's what she was articulating. I need y'all to understand, like, I don't care what the condition is. I don't care if it's physical, mental, emotional. You can get to a place where like the best we can do for you is manage you or keep you away from people so that you're not a harm to yourself or others. Like things can go too far. So if there's trauma in your life you ain't dealt with, deal with it before it takes over your mind, before it takes over your well-being. Like we got to do the work to heal. Okay. So that is the physical point of no return, where like there are numbers and data and tests that you can take that tell you like, listen, we're looking at the cancer. It's metastasized. It's like taking over too many systems in your body. We can't come back from this. Like your diabetes is too far gone. Your arteries are clogged. The best we can do is bypass surgery. The best we can do is put a stent in. You're at a point of no return. That's a physical point of no return. But before I hop off, let me tell you guys one more point of no return. And this is one that even more of you guys have experienced, and above and beyond the physical point of no return. Y'all gonna let me pause and take a sip of tea? Hold on, because this one is a major one. Sips tea. Okay. The final point of no return that you should be scared of, above and beyond a physical point of no return, some of you guys are blessed in this moment where you have not reached a point of physical point of no return. However, the other point of no return that is really dangerous is the mental point of no return. Let me explain. Has anybody got school loans? Let me tell you, I do, honey. Okay. Has anybody ever looked at the amount that they owed in something and been like, "Ain't no way I'm paying this off, bro"? Like, like if somebody was to ask you intellectually, and like, is it possible to pay off I don't know, let's just make up a number, 150, $200,000 in school loans? You know, you might say, "I'm sure it's possible." But realistically, this ain't possible. Like I'm just gonna have school loans till I die. Has anybody ever experienced that? Bruh, I'm sure it's possible. You know, I could probably do something crazy. You know, I could maybe hit the lottery, or I could probably venture out and start my own business and try and make my own money. And maybe, but I just don't see 200. They just gonna have to get these couple dollars every month, and we're gonna call it square. A lot of us are at a point, for example, like that, in debt, where we're just like, the best I could do at this point is keep myself out of delinquency, right? But paying off this entire school loan, bruh, that, my friends, is called a mental point of no return. Like, it's still actually possible, but mentally it's so overwhelming to you that you have decided to give up. That is where a lot of you all are. Even if you are not at a physical point of no return, a lot of you are looking at your health, you're looking at your weight, and you're just like, it's too much. I got too much to lose. I got too many diagnoses. Like, I'm just gonna have to live with something. Like, it's too much work. You're looking at the work that's required to become optimal, and you've decided that it's just too much. You're at a mental point of no return. The work in front of you is so overwhelming that you have decided the best you can do is manage things at this point. So no doctor and nobody has told you that it can't be done. However, the lift is too big for you. And so you are very close or at a mental point of no return, where the work that's going to be required. I had a friend like that. Matter of fact, so she was really dealing with fibroids, right? And she had been dealing with fibroids for years. She had really heavy periods, and it was overwhelming for her. Like, every month she would be in pain, she would bleed a lot, whatever. And I was like, well, I found this specialist who specializes in fibroids, and she has a whole dietary protocol that you can try out, because the thing she was considering was surgery. And I was like, wait, before you do surgery, I found this specialist. I bought her the book and everything. I'm like, look, bro, listen to this. Here's the book. I bought it for you. I'm like, we can beat fibroids naturally. Like, I don't want you to go under the knife, right? And she was like, Lisa, I read the protocol. I'm gonna have to give up oil. I'm gonna have to give up this. I'm gonna have to give up that. She was like, I just can't imagine, it's too much work. I'm gonna have a surgery. She was at a mental point of no return. Nobody had told her it wasn't possible, but mentally she told herself that. She was like, looking at what will be required to do this is too overwhelming for me. And so I'm going to opt into a different option that's a little more risky. And so if we were to put maybe a 2B on here. So number one was the point of completion. Number two was the point of no return. And 2B is the mental point of no return. Some of you have allowed your conditions to escalate so far that the work that's required to come back from it is too overwhelming and too much for you. Like, when I tell people, okay, yeah, we can absolutely put your type 2 diabetes in remission. When I tell people, it absolutely is possible to do this, but I'm like, but in order to do it, you're going to have to give up all animal products. You have to let go of all sugar. You have to be no oil. You have to drink the water. You're going to work out. Oh, and that chronic stress you're dealing with, we got to do something about that. And the fact that you don't live a life that's aligned in purpose, that's killing you too. And when I tell them all of that, they just like, maybe I'll just take one more pill for one more year, right? And so the mental point of no return is dangerous as well. And so I want to warn you guys of that also. Like, it's very important to know that there's a physical point of no return where like that means it's impossible, but there's a mental point of no return where it's just like, I can't fathom how much it's going to take to fix this, right? I have to. I just can't fathom how much it's going to take to fix this. So does that make sense, everybody? Those are the two most dangerous points on your health journey. It is the point of completion. It is the point of completion, right? And it is also the point of no return. Very, very dangerous place. Shout out to y'all on Instagram. Let's see. Oh, Moonlight said there is very much a point of no return for some fibroids. Oh, I agree. That's why I said there's a physical point of no return where like you can get to a point where, like you said, Moonlight, they're too big or whatever, 100%. But understanding too that they didn't start that way. Like that's exactly my point, right? Like they can grow to that point. Because sometimes a doctor or healthcare provider have told you to ignore them if they're not disrupting your life. So just let them sit there, and you don't have to do anything. If they're not bothering you, we're not going to bother them, right? There's so many reasons why we don't get aggressive and radical to address these things, right? Where they're not always our decision. Sometimes people tell us things that makes us think that we don't have to be extreme with stuff. But I'm telling you guys, it is so important. It is so important to understand that there is a point of no return physically and mentally that is really dangerous on your health journey, and you do not want to get there. You do not want to get there. Let me see. Any questions? Y'all been commenting on this one today. This must have been hitting. Yeah, exactly right. Lady A97. She said these options are only addressing the symptoms and not the root problem. The root problem is our lifestyle. Yeah, I don't know. What do you mean by these options, Lady A97? Are you talking about like medications and treatments and things like that? Because I agree with you 100%. Like, so to avoid getting to those points of no return, we have to overhaul our entire lifestyle. And sometimes overhauling our entire lifestyle for a lot of us feels so overwhelming. And so it's much easier to just manage conditions because we don't understand like how quickly things can escalate, right? And so we want to avoid that escalation. Rochelle on YouTube said, now what's being said is obesity is a disease that isn't our fault and it's genetic. They sure are saying that. She said there is a genetic component. However, we have the same genes as our ancestors, but obesity is increasing every year due to eating over processed food, 100% decrease in activity. Plus the food industry puts sugar in everything, keeping us addicted. I agree 100%, right? And so they're definitely trying to say obesity is just a disease, but I'm like, this didn't exist 20, 30 years ago. There was just no such thing as this morbid obesity. And it is definitely our lifestyle. And to speak to the genetic piece for a second, I want everybody to understand that there is a point. Here's what I want you to understand about your genes, okay? Your genes load the gun, but your diet and lifestyle pulls the trigger. So what that means is absolutely you can be genetically predisposed for something. You can be genetically more likely to get something. That is not a guarantee that you're going to have it. It's like a bookmark in a book. Like, yeah, you can mark that page is bookmarked, but it doesn't mean it's your guaranteed fate. And I think that's the thing that people don't understand a lot of times when we say things run in our family. It's like, it is so important that we understand it doesn't matter what runs in your family. You can still outrun it. Like, just run faster. Like my coach always says, he's like, so much alcoholism ran in my family that I decided not to drink. Right. So sometimes when something is, runs in your family, you just have to make different decisions than the average person makes. Doesn't mean you're guaranteed to be an alcoholic, right? Doesn't mean you're guaranteed to be obese. Doesn't mean you're guaranteed type 2 diabetes. And so we have to understand that our genetic code is designed to help us make decisions. Our genetic code is not our fate. Right? Genetics play less than a 10% role. Single digits plays less than a 10% role in our health outcomes. Most people think it's the opposite. We think our genetics plays the biggest role in our health outcomes, and it does not. Do genetics matter? 100% they matter. Do they matter as much as we give them credit for? Absolutely not. Your lifestyle matters more than your genetic code. And your genetic code, like, for example, there's no genetic code, there's no gene, should I say, for breast cancer. Like you can get breast cancer, and because a lot of people have breast cancer, they notice that there's that gene is not breast cancer, though. It's saying it's an increased risk for breast cancer. Do you understand the difference? And sometimes when we decide to own a belief that my genes decided that I was going to have this, we let ourselves off the hook, like, hey, there's nothing I can do about it. It's not true. There is no breast cancer gene. There's a gene, just like the ApoE gene. If you have the ApoE gene, then you have an increased risk for Alzheimer's. But the ApoE gene is not Alzheimer's. Do you get what I'm saying? And so that increased risk means I get to make different decisions to then decrease my risk. But it doesn't mean if I have this gene, I'm going to get breast cancer for sure. It doesn't mean if I have this gene that I'm going to get Alzheimer's for sure. And I think that's the part that we need to understand when it comes to genetics. Thank you, Rochelle, for doing this. I just went on a tangent about it. But so many of us have decided that we don't have control, and it's just not true. We have more control than we give ourselves credit for. And so I hope this live was super helpful for you guys today. I'm doing I want to bless you guys for the holidays. I know a lot of you guys have platforms, and you have podcasts, and you guys have like live shows that you do on your channels. And so I want to end by just like blessing you guys for the holidays. So two call to actions from today's conversation. The first is, if you know you need to do something once and for all and stop like dragging your feet and really put the pedal to the metal to get yourself to optimal place in your health, then I want to invite you to our 30-day vegan, salt, oil, and sugar-free challenge. It is a free challenge. It starts January 1st. And we have just over 900 people registered so far. And we're going to get way more before January 1st gets here. I do a masterclass every month in preparation for the challenge to help get y'all ready mentally and physically. And so our next one is coming up in just a few weeks on November 20th. And so if you're not registered for our 30-day vegan, salt, oil, and sugar-free challenge, seriously consider it so that we can take things to the next level for you in your health and avoid those points of no return. And the second invitation is, a lot of you guys DM me, message me about coming to speak or being a guest on your platforms. And so for the month of December, I decided to open myself up to that. A lot of times I have to screen a lot of these requests just because, busyness and a capacity. But for the month of December, I'm setting my schedule up in such a way, try and make it as light as possible so that I can bless you guys' platform. So those of you who have podcasts, those of you who have shows, those of you who have platforms, and you want to have a conversation about health, you want to have a conversation about chronic stress, you want to have a conversation about radical obedience, I want to offer my time to you guys to do that. So I'm happy to come on your platform, come on your show, and talk about this content, because we know for a lot of people, the top of the year is all about health, right? And so let's make sure we give your audience what they need. And so if you have some type of show, podcast, whatever it is, and you want to guest and you want to have a deeper level conversation to help your audience out, then I'm opening my calendar up for the month of December to serve you guys in that way. And so the best way, when you got a couple options to lock it in, if you know you want me to come and speak and teach to your audience for the month of December, you want to first of all get it as quickly as possible, because I can capacity is only capacity. So once days are full, I can't do more than I can do. So first things first will be to request as quickly as possible. If you're on Instagram, the best way is just shoot me a DM so we could just have a casual conversation and lock you in. Or you can visit my website, LisaAngelSmith.com, and there's a button right there as soon as you get on the website that says book Lisa to speak. So you can also go that route as well and tell me a little bit about your platform. And I'm happy to come and spread this information. That's just my way of being in service to the world. So again, not costing you anything. I'm gonna come and wax deep. Now, if your audience is not used to getting their edges snatched, don't request me, because I'm not gonna soften up. Like, I don't believe in moderation. I don't believe in having just a little bit, because we're not strong enough to stay off of stuff long enough to get healed. Like, there's just some things I don't believe in. So I will also say this: if our values don't align, like if I look on your page, or you selling supplements, or you want me to promote something I don't believe in, or if you sell something I don't believe in, then I'll probably have to kindly deny your request. But other than that, I'm happy to come on and talk about this information more on you guys' platforms, because you guys are messaging me anyway. So I'm like, let me publicly make this offer. And so that's just my way of giving back and honoring these conversations that a lot of us are having privately anyway. Okay. And so I'm happy to wax deep about nutrition science, lifestyle science. I'm happy to wax deep about personal development. I'm happy to talk to your audience about combating chronic stress. I'm happy to talk about what it takes to live in your purpose and be on assignment and be radically obedient to God. I believe in God. So if that's a problem for you, don't call me. Okay. But that's my offer. So my offer does come with conditions. It does come with conditions. Okay. I'm not going to compromise my values and my beliefs. So it is a conditional offer. And so if there's alignment, I'm happy to come on you guys' platform and speak. You can also just email me to hello@lisaangelsmith.com, hello@lisaangelsmith.com, and I'm happy to be in service, okay? So, Nisha, you know I had to tell them, because look, what are we not about to do? It's playing God's face, or you know what I'm saying? So that's it, y'all. So get registered for the challenge. And then if you need a guest speaker, or if you're interested in being in conversation with me in service to others, right? So this is not an invitation for a private coaching session. Don't DM me talking about, can I talk? No. You got to have a platform so we can help other people. This is the season of giving. This is the gift of giving, okay? Don't be trying to run out and create a podcast. You only got 1.5 listeners just because you want a personal coaching session. Y'all be getting me in conversations and being like, well, this is for me, because what I need to know is, and I'll be like, boy, oh boy. Okay. I love it here. So anyway, look at Patrice pubbing me up in the comments on Instagram. She said she don't play for real. If you ain't ready, don't call. Please don't call. Please don't call. I stand on business and I believe in what I believe in. And I'm not negotiable about it until science or data proves otherwise. Okay. So don't come over here acting up, but I'm happy to, go live with y'all on Instagram, whatever it is. Like, let's help more people this season, right? Let's help people get healthy. And so hit me up if you would like me to be a guest on your platform and want to talk health. You need a subject matter expert in plant-based nutrition. You need a subject matter expert in combating chronic stress. You need a subject matter expert in limiting belief systems and how to overcome them to reach your goals. That's all my jam. It's what I do. It's what I've been doing forever. So that's that. LaWanda said, what you drinking? She like, forget all that service stuff. What you drinking? Y'all tell LaWanda what I'm drinking. She new here. This is tea, LaWanda. This is tea. It's hot tea. Unsweetened, herbal. Like, no, wait. This one ain't herbal. I think this one has a little caffeine in it. I do very minimal caffeine. I drink mostly herbal teas, but every blue moon I get a taste for a black tea. So this one is a black tea. So it's slightly caffeinated. And no, just water in a tea bag. That's it. And that's all. I don't do any refined sugar. I don't do any sweeteners. So that's what I'm drinking now. I love y'all. Any other personal questions before we hop off here today? Anything else y'all want to get in my business about? I'm happy to answer. So I hope this was helpful today, y'all. Thank y'all, YouTube. Thank you, Instagram, for being on. I hope it was super, super, super helpful. And I hope it resonated with those of you guys who are on your health journey, and either you lose that motivation when you reach your goal, or you're not being radical enough in your work that's going to warrant remission, and you're only doing enough to manage your condition. So I hope I address those two individuals today. And I'm hoping to bring the fire again next Monday. So y'all already know this is the live recording of the Plant Protocol podcast. And so we'll be back here next Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern. Whole nother topic. You can check my Instagram page for the upcoming topics. I'll put next week's up soon. Rochelle, you're so welcome. Thank you. You guys have an amazing day. Patrice, don't gas me up. She said the Harriet Tubman of health. Amen. You know what? You know what's crazy, y'all? People have been calling me Harriet Tubman for years. Like, I remember the first time I heard it was, I have our plant-based coaching program, Farm to Table. Before COVID, we had in-person graduations for our program. And I remember we had rented out this space at Wayne County Community College in Michigan. And we had all our cohorts come for a graduation. And I remember one of our students getting up and was like, Lisa's the Harriet Tubman of health. She's trying to lead all our people to freedom. I was like, what? And then I was a guest on a radio show, and the host, he said the exact same thing. He was like, "You are like the Harriet Tubman." I was like, "Where's all this coming from?" So I actually had it on my website at one point. I was like, "Well, I'm gonna take this moniker, right?" I was like, "The Harriet Tubman of health." It ain't on there no more, but it was at one point. Anyway, that's a fun fact. Okay, that's it, and that's all. I will see y'all back here next Monday, 10 a.m. EST. Whole nother topic. Just remember, don't lay your edges down before you come, so we can have a good time together, and you ain't mad at me about your hair being messed up. Until next time, y'all, have a phenomenal week.